Good evening and welcome to tonight's special discussion on a matter that's making waves across the world of sports and politics, unfortunately, politics. As tensions rise over Afghanistan's participation in the upcoming Champions Trophy, South Africa's sports minister has added his voice to the growing calls for a boycott. And this comes in response to the Taliban government's crackdown on women's rights in the country. Tonight, we will unpack this issue with a focus on the implications for cricket, the ongoing international pressure, and how nations are reacting ahead of the tournament in Pakistan. Joining me for this discussion is Mr. Chandramouli Kanvi, a sports commentator who has been following the developments closely. Let's begin with you, let's begin with you, Mr. Kanvi, South Africa's sports minister. Gayton McKenzie has voiced strong opposition to playing Afghanistan, stating that it would be hypocritical, especially considering South Africa's own history with apartheid. So, do you agree with with his stance?
Good evening, Bapu. Thanks for having me in your YouTube channel, Sports Corner. Yeah, I heard that Sports Minister McKenzie telling that, but it is the Sports Minister who is talking, not the board. Okay, and the government may force the board to take some action. Say they intend to, not to play against Afghanistan, but it's really a pity, trying to ban Afghanistan. We 100% we all agree that women's rights should be restored in Afghanistan. They should have a women's team. They don't have a women's team, and but the major nations, say England is also thinking of banning Afghanistan, but not playing against Afghanistan. 160 of their members of parliament have voiced their concern, and ECB has not officially, Australian board raised the issue. Australian board or ECB or South African board, they have not informed the ICC so far. But they're all ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಹೊರತು ಇನ್ನು there's nothing concrete in this respect. But it will be very sad if they are banned, because Afghanistan is the only country which came from League 5, in the sense they were affiliates about 10-15 years ago, affiliates to associates to test playing nation. They started from, I think, League Division 5 or Division 8 in associates. They went on to win every year. They became associates, and then now they are the test playing nations along with Ireland. We have 12 test playing nations, and India played in Bangalore. I think we all saw that. India played their first test match against Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is the home for Afghanistan's home ground is India.
Correct.
Earlier it was Noida, now it is Dehradun. I mean, we are the host, in the sense it is their home ground. Otherwise, they will play in. They can't play in Afghanistan, Kabul. There are some T20 league is there in Afghanistan, but no major ground is there. And they have come up in a very hard way. They have practiced very hard. All their players play the all other T20 matches that are franchise-based tournaments are played all over the world. And Rashid Khan is their biggest hero. And Nabi was one of the greatest ambassadors of cricket in Afghanistan. There are so many of them, and now after all the hard work, they have reached this stage, and they have beaten, except India, they have beaten all the countries in T20 format or one-day internationals. In fact, if I remember correctly, they reached the semi-finals of T20 World Cup, and they lost to South Africa quite badly. But they reached the semi-finals when England and Australia didn't reach the semi-finals.
Correct.
So we lost South Africa later on, but probably there. This is just an excuse not to play Afghanistan for the biggies. They will be ashamed if they lose again to Afghanistan in the white ball matches.
Yeah.
But But yes, there is a problem in Afghanistan. We all know it. The Taliban government doesn't give women, they don't give the women the proper rights, the eligible rights, and regarding education and the sports, they don't encourage the women to play. But the major countries should force through their government agencies, they should force the Taliban government to see that the women's rights are restored. But instead of that, banning Afghanistan from Champions Trophy, which it played 2023 World Cup in India, it played in USA the T20 World Cup and One Day World Cup in India, and they did very well. They beat most of the major nations. So then why now in 2025? Why not earlier? Earlier also it was as soon as the Taliban came into power, the problem has been there. Why that was not addressed earlier? Now why now? Because they are beating all the major nations. That's what I feel.
Mr. Kanvi, here, I would like to add into this conversation, our discussion. It is really, sad, and I cannot understand the English Cricket Board and now South Africa cricket. They are, wanting Afghanistan to be boycotted. Why I'm saying it is not understandable is the Afghanistan national cricket team carries tricolor flag of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Try to understand this. The tricolor flag is black, red, and green. And this was inspired by the Weimar Republic era flag of Germany. And it has a mosque and wheat in center. And mind you, sir, Kanvi sir, the team sings the national anthem of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan.
Not the
And the
Taliban.
batsman's helmet, if you see, the batsman helmets are blue with Afghanistan tricolor flag above the ACB logo. Secondly, now I will try to distinguish the flag of Taliban government government in Afghanistan is a white flag with the Islamic declaration of faith that is Shahada in black letters. So actually what has happened is, Kanvi sir, the Taliban has replaced Afghanistan's tricolor flag with their white flag after retaking the country in 2021. And also, I will bring it to your notice, the United Nations still recognizes the tricolor flag, which the Afghanistan team carries. So they are not representing, they have totally rejected the regime of Taliban. Such being the case, I don't understand these administrators or cricket administrators or politicians. Why can't this, consider the United Nations? They still recognize the tricolor. I think, there's some deep politics because as you said, Afghanistan has been growing in leaps and bounds. As you said, in last T20 World Cup, and this we quite often see. See, I will also relate, give me 2 minutes, sir. In 1970s, West Indies, they were so powerful under Lloyd team. Now they were winning series after series, and what happened next is they were playing in Duke ball and SCG balls. Now, how to, for example, Australia, England, they call the shots. Then how to, diminish the popularity, the dominance of West Indies is create a new ball, kookaburra ball. After 20-25 hours, the ball becomes soft and you cannot swing, and that's how I believe that this was one of the factors for West Indies' decline in international cricket. And even now in Olympics also. Now you see that India is winning medals after medals in boxing. Now they have given a reason, this International Olympic Association, they have given a reason that no, there's some politics in IBA, that is International Boxing Association, things like that. So whenever there is some rise in popularity or dominance of say Asian countries, something happens. I think so. This may be one of the reasons, to diminish the dominance of Afghanistan. I may be wrong. Please correct me
No, no, no.
if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. No, no, they can't stand the phenomenal rise of Afghanistan. I told you earlier, they came from 8 division of affiliates to associates, and now the test play nations. But England and Australia, they're not playing bilateral matches against Afghanistan.
Hmm.
Say, they come here and play here, and only except Indian senior team, our Indian A team lost to Afghanistan in emerging nations tournament in the
Correct.
semi-final.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, they've beaten
And
our A team also.
this comes right after that.
Yes, yes,
Because in
yes.
emerging also that bench
Yeah, yeah.
strength that indicates what type of bench strength they have.
Yes, yes. See, they don't have a stadium. They don't have proper first-class setup. Still, they produce so many youngsters.
Correct.
Initially, they were helped by Pakistan. They were in the refugee camps where Nabi, Rashid, everybody learned cricket there only. But later on, they made India the home. Now they are bitter rivals of Pakistan in every respect, politically and cricket-wise also. And see, now, but you can't blame the players. Players are the best ambassadors of Afghanistan.
Correct.
In the international politics also, international cricket also.
Correct.
So they are the biggest hopes. Whenever Afghanistan plays, the whole Afghanistan is standstill. All of them follow cricket and they celebrate. Maybe they celebrate with gunshots. That is different thing. But they celebrate. I mean, it's very, very popular. Cricket is the only thing for them, for the people to have some joy and happiness. Otherwise, there's nothing there. So they don't play in Afghanistan. They play outside. So and it's really a stream of youngsters are coming from Afghanistan. How many Afghani players play in IPL? Probably more than some of the test playing nations, other test playing nations also. They're very, very talented.
And Kanvi sir, they're also playing in South Africa T20, which kick-started yesterday.
Yes.
Hashmatullah, if I remember, he scored a brilliant 80 odd runs.
Yes.
And
recently in a test match
today
against,
Noor was very good in Big Bash.
Yeah, see, they play everywhere. They want the players to be in Big Bash. They want the players in South African T20 League, but they don't want the Afghanistan team to play in Champions Trophy. It is just a real farce, I don't understand it. So, but really the players are the superheroes.
Correct.
I mean, they have that guts, determination. They have worked really hard to reach this stage. Now, with a stream of youngsters coming in, they can't ban them, and they have thanked. Just today, I saw in a program they have thanked the Jaisha
Taking up the cause.
being the chairman of ICC. He says nothing doing. They cannot ban Afghanistan. So they have the backing of the Asian countries. This comes under Asia,
Correct.
Afghanistan. So they have the backing of the Asian countries, and they have the backing of the superpower.
Yes.
Not Australia, England. Superpower is India.
India.
So they have the backing of India. So they don't have to worry. I don't think the ICC officially can ban Afghanistan or so. If they don't want to play, no. Earlier also these things have happened. In 2003 World Cup, as I remember, 1996 World Cup, Australia didn't go to Sri Lanka.
South Africa.
And, combined team of India, Pakistan went by flight to Colombo, played match there and came back. And 2003, England didn't go to Zimbabwe because Zimbabwe, England team, 2003 World Cup.
Kanvi, but there is a difference in that. That time it was, apartheid regime was there. And the cricket team also was loyal to that. But here is a different case. Here it is a different case.
I'm talking about 2003 World Cup. 2003 World Cup, they had come out of apartheid, the isolation. 1970, when England wanted to tour, England was touring South Africa, and last moment, Basil D'Oliveira was selected to play for England. They opposed it, and they said intentionally, since we don't want to play with the Browns or Blacks, they have intentionally included Basil de Oliveira. Then they refused to accept. Then it was banned. 1970 to 91. Even India was majorly responsible for the return of South Africa into the international
Correct.
cricket. Yeah,
Of course.
absolutely.
The first
Absolutely.
match I still remember when they
Yes,
returned was against India in
against
Delhi.
India. Against India and Delhi, they came on a whirlwind one-day tour. I think who was the captain? Nick Cook was the captain.
Yes.
And because of that, India postponed their. I mean, they had to go. They were to India was going to tour Australia for a test match series.
Yes.
So they were supposed to go earlier, but because this tour was hastily arranged, they had to stay back, play these three matches, and go. They didn't have time. I think they had only one day to play a test match in Australia to
Yes.
accommodate South Africa. Then
Yeah.
they lost quite miserably. That's a different
And
matter.
Kanvi sir, one more thing. How are these players responsible for the atrocities which is being
Yeah,
meted out to women?
yeah,
How are they
yeah.
responsible for that?
Absolutely, they're not
No,
responsible for that.
see, you can connect it if they were loyal to the Taliban regime, but they are not. They
Yeah.
are also singing the national anthem of the previous regime.
Yes, yes, yes. No, it's
So
a real farce.
I
Yeah,
think Jay Shah has, intervened and done a right
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Now we'll
And
move.
if they, you
Yeah.
see, yeah, what happened in 1996 One Day World Cup and 2003 World Cup, they didn't tour Zimbabwe. Australia didn't go to Sri Lanka. England didn't go to Zimbabwe. Their points were cut.
Correct.
Now Jai Shah should say, no, we cannot ban Afghanistan.
Mm.
If you fall in the Afghanistan's group, if you don't want to play, don't play. You forfeit the points.
Points.
That's
Quite
all.
simple.
Yeah, that was what happened earlier also
Yeah.
in the World Cup matches. So
Yeah.
let it be followed. Yeah.
Anyway, when teams come here, I will pose the questions and let us see if it is still.
I know how you pose the questions in the press meets. You are a
No.
harder, no, hardened journo. I know you are hardened journo. We are not hardened journos. We are just, I am just a simple sport. I follow sports. I mean, I'm a student of sports, sports literature and sports history,
Yes.
and do something. That's all, write something. That's all, not a hardcore journo like you, Bapu.
Uh, sometimes we have to be, sir. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Jaisa would not have spoken for Afghanistan. Since we are speaking, people like us are speaking. It has been rightly picked up and intervened,
Yes.
and it will end.
Yes.
It will end for good. Now let's move on to briefly we'll
Excellent.
discuss about it.
Yeah.
The BCCI, the chairman of selectors, have announced Indian squad for 220 against
T20 World Cup.
England
Yeah.
against England.
Yes.
So Mr. Shami, Mohammad Shami is back. What are your thoughts on, and some players have been left out. Your thoughts
Yeah.
on it?
Yeah. So Major is Shami is back. That is a very heartening feature because he was supposed to go to Australia. Probably the NCA didn't give him clean sheet. He played in the Vijay Hazare Trophy now, bowled about 43 overs. Yeah, and in Ranji Trophy, he has bowled 43 overs. He has proved his fitness, but still, there was some doubt. Whenever after a day's play, he had some pain in the knee, but
Mm.
probably that is sorted out.
Mm.
Every expert in India has asked for Shami to be in the Australian tour, at least for the last two test matches. That
Mm.
didn't happen, but now they had to take him because he's a match winner and he's the senior bowler. So we have Harshit Rana, Arshdeep Singh, and Mohammad Shami as the
Mm.
fast bowlers, and spinners are Varun Chakravarti. He did very well. They lost, Tamil Nadu lost in the quarters, but he took 5 wickets. Yeah, Ravi Bishnoi is a leg spinner. Washington Sundar, off spinner, another
Mm.
favorite boy of Gautam Gambhir's regime. And
Mm.
also Akshar Patel and Nitish Kumar Reddy. Nitish Kumar Reddy should be there. Now he's a
Correct.
superhero. Akshar didn't go to Australia in the sense he was called, but he was expecting a baby. then that is different matter. Nitish Reddy and Akshar Patel are the all-rounders. We have Sanju Samson, Abhishek Sharma. He's a maverick, you know. If he
Yes.
strikes, his strike rate will be 280, 300. Otherwise, he gets out early. Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Verma is excellent. He scored I think he scored
Correct.
two consecutive centuries.
Century,
Hardik Pandya.
international centuries.
Yes,
No,
international
first
centuries.
is international century. Yeah, two international centuries.
Two international centuries. Yes,
Yes,
first two.
yes.
Hardik Pandya is there. Rinku Singh, the finisher, is there. So overall it's a good team against England. They are going to play T20 series, and one day, Bapu, one more thing. I think the champion for the Champions Trophy, we have to announce the team, provisional team. You can make changes later on, but still they have not announced so far. I think 13th is the deadline. 12th or 13th is the
That is
deadline.
for
We'll see.
Champions Trophy.
Yeah, Champions Trophy. Champions
Okay.
Trophy. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, Champions Trophy may not be held in Pakistan also.
That we'll discuss separately.
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
big issue growing up and simmering. Uh,
Yes.
so thank you very much, Mr. Kanvi, for your
Thank
thoughtful
you.
insights
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
As we have seen, this issue is just about sports. It's a deeply moral question that
Yeah.
intertwines politics.
Yes.
So I deeply, appreciate your thoughts on especially the first issue which we raised about Afghanistan. As always, sport is more than just a game. It's a reflection of society's values, and in times like these, those values are being tested. So thank you to our viewers for joining this important conversation. We will continue to monitor this developing story. Until next time, good night. Good night. Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bapu, for having me. Thank you. We'll meet again.
Thank you.